Good morning, everybody. It is Dory. I am here for an update. I know it is so long overdue. Today's not Monday, which I normally should be doing these updates on Monday since I was sleeved on a Monday. I don't even know what week it is. I'm just living life, trying to stay warm because I'm always cold. So I'm here. It is Thursday. April 12th, 2018. I am a little bit over, let's see, the 12th. Today's the 12th? Oh, so today is my 19-month surgiversary. See that? I didn't even know. It just worked out that way. So today's the 12th. So yeah, I was sleeved in Hartford, Connecticut with Dr. Darren Tischler from Hartford Hospital on September 12th, 2016. That makes this month 19 exactly. My highest weight was 333.5. My surgery weight was 300.5. And today I am 179.9. I had seen 173.4. Unfortunately, after doing an egg fast and trying to figure out what to eat and how to do it, then going out to eat, having a couple of binge days, it had turned into a gain, and I had gained almost 10 pounds. I went up to 183.7, I believe it was, and now I am down 179.9. I had gone to see my doctor to get a 18-month checkup at my surgeon's office. She directed me kind of away from the keto diet, the ketogenic diet, if you guys want to look it up, and told me to start eating low-fat things, low-carb, higher protein. I did that for a couple of days, and it just didn't work well for my body. I was hungry all the time. I was eating more than the 2 meals that I normally eat, doing intermittent fasting as well as the ketogenic diet. So I went back and I modified the diet that I'm doing now, which is just a modified keto diet along with intermittent fasting. I am still eating the higher fat, very low carb, and moderate protein. I'm trying to eat 2 meals a day. I try to eat about 11 o'clock and then again about 4:30 or so. I find that I feel a little bit better and less bloating when I do this diet. I also added in, over the last couple of days, salad. I started buying the Fresh Express Chipotle cheddar salad, or the blue cheese and bacon one. They have a couple of them. When I go back today to stock up and buy more, I'm going to actually either find an alternative with no dressing or anything in it, like not a kit, just the alternative to what kind of mix of salad is in those Fresh Express bags. Or I'm going to buy the Fresh Express and just not use the extra things that they pack in there. I think I'll probably just use some sour cream or avocado or mayonnaise as a dressing. I don't usually dress my salad too much. I may even just fry up some bacon and use a little bit of the bacon grease just to put in there for flavor, and then crumble bacon on top. But I am excited that I did start eating the salad. The only thing is that I'm craving salad, that I eat a bag of that a day. And so with the corn chips and the cheddar cheese and their dressing, it's about 24 grams of carbs for that bag. And so that's why I'm going to change it up and not use their dressing or their added things that are in there. So that has been a positive. That I am getting in my veggies. I feel much better even going to the bathroom now that I am getting my veggies. I do still take Miralax and Colace daily. The Colace I can space out maybe every 2 to 3 days instead of every day. I need to get better at taking my vitamins. I keep forgetting to take my multivitamin. I take vitamins from a company called Berry Melts. They are delicious. They melt. You don't have to chew them, although you can. And they taste good. They have different flavors depending on what kind of vitamin it is. So I've been taking those, but when I remember my multi in the morning, it's on an empty stomach and I get very sick. And so I know I can't do that anymore. So I'm trying to remember when I have my first meal of the day to go ahead and take my multivitamin, my biotin, my vitamin C, and my iron. And then at night I take calcium citrate, also from Berry Melts, and I take my B12. And then I also have to remember to take a D3, which I have been forgetting. I live in the Northeast in Western Massachusetts, and we do not have a lot of sun all around like some people in the South or on the West Coast do. And so vitamin D3 is really beneficial for us. So I really try to do that. So with that being said, I definitely still feel a little lost. I definitely still feel a little lost in the area of food and coming up with some food recommendations. I am going grocery shopping tomorrow. I try to do grocery shopping once a month to stock up on the big things like at BJ's or Costco. And that's been working out well for me. And then I started buying fresh fish from my brother. He gets it wholesale. He works for a company down the street and they get it extremely fresh. There's really no way to get it fresher unless I caught it myself and I came home and fried it within that hour. But he gets it. They get their shipment from like Gloucester, Massachusetts, or Niagara Falls. I think it's Niagara Falls. That sounds funny to me. Maybe it's not Niagara Falls. No, it's not. It's Nova Scotia. So sorry. I don't even know where I came up with Niagara Falls for fish. As I'm thinking about it now, like trying to fish off that big dam or whatever that's called with the, oh my gosh. Anyways, blonde moment. So they get it fresh from Nova Scotia. I had cod last week, and if you guys saw my Instagram or on my Facebook, if you're friends with me, you would have seen a recipe I did. I took the cod and I put a little bit of mayo on each side, which is what I actually learned years ago from a guy who is a friend of ours who is a chef, and he was at a really nice restaurant here, and that's what he said to do, coat it in mayo and then breadcrumbs, but I don't eat the breadcrumbs because of the carbs. So instead I took Wisp cheese cracker things and I smushed them up, and that's what I coated it in. Then I melted it like a half a stick of Kerrygold butter underneath. I put that in the microwave just to melt the butter, and then I put the fish on top and I baked it, and oh my gosh, it is incredible. So anyway, so I've been trying to get more fish, and so tomorrow is my big grocery shopping day, and I will be stocking up on the cheese and the steak and some ground beef, the grass-fed organic ground beef, eggs and butter and things that I just do once a month and stock up on. And then I'm going to look up some recipes. I'm going to stock up, of course, on those Fresh Express salads or one that's comparable to that. And so, yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So the last couple days I had a couple of Johnsonville sausages. I fry those up and then I cut them up and put them on top of that salad mix I was telling you about. And so that has been my go-to and I love it. I'm craving it now when my husband gets home from work. I think I'm going to run up to the neighborhood grocery store and get some before he has to go to his second job. Speaking of my husband, I wanted to update you guys. He actually was gone for a couple of days on Tuesday and Wednesday. He went to the Air Force base that is right down the street from here. He took a test called ASVAB. It's a test that the military uses to see where you rank in selecting a career in the military and what you could go to school for and things of that nature. And then on Wednesday, he slept over. They sent him to a hotel, paid for his meals and everything. And then yesterday, he had to do a physical exam, which was very grueling. They take blood and urine, and they have you do a lot of very strenuous things. They see how much weight you can lift. I don't know exactly what they had him lift, but he was able to lift it at the max. The first time he tried to lift it, my husband is extremely strong. He always has been. And so I'm going to probably guess it was about 250 pounds is my guess. And so when they first put it on the whatever the max weight was, he couldn't do it. So they put it down a couple of notches, like 30 pounds they took off, and he was able to do it, and basically taking the bar and then having to put it over your head and putting it down. And so then they raised it 10 pounds 3 times. And then, you know, the doctor or whoever it was doing the exam had said, you know, how about we try one more time? And he was able to do it. And so that ended up giving him a high score on his physical, with the rest of the things, eyesight, hearing, and things of that nature. And then we are very lucky to have a personal friend of ours that goes to church with us on base. He was a recruiter, and now he oversees the whole recruiting program. And so he kept me very well informed on Tuesday as he was taking his ASVAB. You need to get a minimum score of 36. That will just get you into the military, but not get you a great career. My husband scored, drum roll, 79 on the ASVAB test, which is an extremely high score. And then he passed his physical with flying colors. So, and because he lifted the max weight, he is eligible for any job within the Air National Guard that he wants to do we have 2 Air Force bases. We have Westover Air Force Base down the street, and we have Barnes Air Force Base not too far from here. And so he is able to choose whatever career he would like to go to school for, without having a bachelor's degree, because some of them you need a bachelor's. So they will send him to school. He is going to pick his career. But then comes the tough part, is once he picks his career and gets sworn in, which should happen soon, he is going to be shipped out for 8 weeks to boot camp. Basic training, 8 weeks in San Antonio, Texas. I don't know when he's going to go, but that I think is going to be the hardest part, of course. 8 weeks away from my soulmate, we are attached at the hip. We do everything together. He's just my everything, my rock, my best friend. He's amazing. I do have tons of support within our church family. I have been at the same church for 20 years. It is a Church of Christ, affiliated with the International Churches of Christ, and I have the most amazing church family. So within our church family, there are several military families, and so I will have a lot of support, but the 8 weeks is a long time. But in any event, he got in. He's up to the next thing. He's working his normal job now. And then we'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to be a couple months down the road, if it's going to be a year down the road. It could be next week that he leaves. We really don't know. Thus, welcome to the military life. I have had relatives who have been in the military, but I have not had anybody very close to me in the military at a time that I was an adult. When I was a child, I had several people in my family, and my grandfather actually was killed in World War II. And my husband has had several people in the military. His dad was in the Army and served in the Vietnam War. His grandfather was also in the Army, and he also served in I believe it was the Korean War. We have several, his brothers, he has one brother in the Army, the other brother's in the Army, still is in the Army, several friends, like I mentioned, from church. So, but as for myself, I have never, had much military experience, as far as just having total respect for our military. But as far as having to go through someone going to boot camp, or anything like that. I have not, so this is definitely new territory for me. But I can get through it. It's not a big deal. I'll get through so much. And I have you guys, and I'll film more and whatever else. And that is that. So as far as life, that's kind of what's going on now. I have schooling that my kids are going to, and that's been great. I have been looking to obtain my GED, and I should start soon on Saturdays with a friend of mine who used to teach the GED classes and has all the testing in the books and all that, so I'm going to do that. I had applied for a couple of jobs. One wanted to interview me. I got very scared, did not go in for the interview, but also it is for a summer counselor at a like a summer camp school, preschool, but my daughter is a teacher. She's a preschool teacher there, and so of course she doesn't want to work with me. I did play a fun joke on her though. She called me. I had been texting her telling her that they wanted me to come for an interview, and then she called me and I started screaming with excitement, telling her I got the job. I can't wait. We're gonna have lunch together. I can bring lunch one day. She'll bring lunch. We can go out to a restaurant. She can treat me to lunch. That it is gonna be so exciting for mother and daughter to go to lunch every day together, and how we're gonna have so much fun together while we're at work. But of course it was just a joke, and she she was freaking out. But anyway, so yeah, so that's that. Just living life. I'm just concentrating on getting some veggies in and changing up my routine. I get my water in. I'm definitely hungry now. I feel very hungry. So yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date on how things are going. And for now, I hope everybody is having a wonderful week.